What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. This just goes to show where the sport of boxing ranks amongst all sports. As you see right here, Superstar 4-division world champion, top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world, first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires. Undefeated Shakur Stevenson, 25 wins, no loss and no draw, 11 wins by way of knockout. Shakur Stevenson signed to Dana White and Zuffa Boxing, who put on a UFC event featuring the return of UFC superstar 2-division champion Conor McGregor coming off a 5-year layoff. You had Shakur Stevenson there. You had newly crowned WBC welterweight champion, Mexican superstar boxer Ryan Garcia there. And you also had British superstar title contender Conor Ben there, along with a plethora of other people. But as you see right here, they show Shakur Stevenson on the screen. And they announced Shakur Stevenson as world champion, NBA superstar, all-star, Jalen Williams. Shakur Stevenson is 5'8", 150 pounds. Jalen Williams is 6'8", with cornrows, and is a basketball player. He has braids, Jalen Williams. Shakur Stevenson does not. And they announced Shakur Stevenson as NBA All-Star and World Champion Jalen Williams. Mind you, Shakur Stevenson just signed to Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. So they should be well aware of who Shakur Stevenson is. He was on the stage for the press conference and the weigh-ins. So how do they not know? But that's because the sport of boxing is not as popular as people want it to believe. These fighters think they're bigger superstars than they actually are. And this is the problem with the sport of boxing, because they so quick, the fighters, to run to platforms that have no idea who they are, instead of building it up from the roots in their own backyard and then venturing out, then branching out. Build it up, plant the roots and the seeds, then let the tree branch, blossom, bloom, and then you can branch out. But they quick to run to these platforms because they view these platforms as quote unquote mainstream media and big outlets that they view, but they don't know who they are. Remember, they announced Terrence Crawford, the best fighter of his era and generation, 5-division champion, 3-division undisputed champion. They announced Terrence Crawford as Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to say that again. They announced Terrence Crawford as Kendrick Lamar. This just goes to show. So when these fighters be quick to disrespect media members and people like myself and other people on these content creators that's keeping the sport of boxing alive, they need to take a very good look at themselves. Because we are the ones that keep the sport of boxing. We are mainstream media. Without us, nobody knows about the sport of boxing. They don't even care. Without Fight Hype, Fight Hub, Marco Viegas, and Nesta Gibbs, and The Boxing Voice, and all these different platforms, 7A Sports TV, and Dante Boxing Nation, even Ellie Setback, right? Without these platforms, those are the OGs I'm naming. Not including myself and BF and, we are the ones that keep the sport of boxing alive. The biggest interviews Floyd Mayweather have are on Fight Hype and Dante's Boxing Nation. Those sparring sessions between Shakur and Devin Haney went viral on Dante Boxing Nation. These quote-unquote ESPN got out the business of the sport of boxing because they don't care about it. Why everybody's cheering and high-fiving and chest-bumping and celebrating at the fact that all the major promotional companies are under the same banner on DAZN That's because they didn't have a choice. That's because they didn't have a choice. Prime wasn't going to re-up with Premier Boxing Champions, better known as PBC. They had no interest. They gave them no budget, only a distribution deal. ESPN got out the business of the sport of boxing. Showtime got out the business of the sport of boxing. ESPN is the worldwide leader in sports. They cover high school sports. But yet they got out the business of the sport of boxing. Let that sink in. They cover high school sports, even cricket, high school softball. Yet they don't want to cover boxing. Let that sink in. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.